Hello, Adina. I'm so excited to have you. This is going to be amazing. Thank you all for being so prompt. I'm going to give like just a couple more minutes. We're waiting on a few more participants. So thank you all for being prompt. Stand by for just a few more minutes.
Okay.
It's so cool that they're like all throughout the country.
Hi, Justina.
Hi there.
Well, thank you for joining. We're just giving a couple more minutes. We actually are just gonna, I'm gonna give some updates on ARC in the beginning of the meeting rather than doing something beforehand. So thank you for popping on early though. I appreciate it.
Sounds good. Yeah,
So excited to hear everyone speak. All right, let's see. We're waiting for Tanya and Natalie, and then we're set to go. We'll just give another minute or two. All right, I'm going to start just to respect everyone's time because I am going to give some updates on ARC first, and then we'll hop into the Health Equity Forum. I'm so excited about our list of speakers. And the way this will work, I'm going to give a little update on ARC for Q2, and then we have a list of speakers. I think everyone's received the list who is speaking. I'm going to give a little intro on each of the speakers, and then I'll let you all take it away and just speak for a couple minutes. Again, we're raising awareness here, and I'll introduce the Health Equity Forum in just a moment. But just to recap what's going on with ARC in Q2, we continue to have an impact. We've had our regular cohorts with participants throughout the United States, but we've also had a really special cohort that was childhood cancer moms cohort. And this was truly a movement-based cohort. It was not just running. The cohort all lived geographically close to one another, and they worked out, they did runs, they just had a whole wellness program. And their feedback after the program was just really touching. You all know that I like to start with a participant quote. So one of the participants in that childhood cancer moms cohort said, ARC has helped my consistency with exercise, ARC has given me support, and ARC has really helped my depression. She also noted that ARC made improvements in her overall health, her stress management, her sense of connection, her sleep, her nutrition, and her ability to be mindful. So I think that's a huge win and really special to help that group. And hopefully that will be ongoing. So yes, continuing to make an impact, applications continue to be rolling, and we are moving forward with our collaboration and absorption of some of the Fit for the Cause local programming that Cindy is going to speak on, I think, here in a moment. So those are the ARC updates. Does anyone have any questions or feedback? And you also know with me, please raise your hand or just unmute yourself. Don't type in a comment because I frequently don't see it. So just start talking if you have a question. I'll leave just a second. Does anyone have any questions on that update? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm so excited about the Health Equity Forum that we're going to have today because we all know how important movement is. We know that when we move our bodies, we experience not only physical benefits, but mental benefits as well. And we also know that a lot of people do not have access to formalized programming. So they aren't unable to get started or maintain a movement routine. And ARC and Fit for the Cause share a mission of improving access to movement programming. So this forum tonight is to discuss our efforts to improve health equity, to increase by increasing access to movement program. But it's also to just discuss health equity advancement as a broader concept. And I think everyone who's speaking tonight is going to just shine a light on some of the inequities and what we can do to address them. So without further ado, I'm super excited to introduce our first speaker, and that is Adina Crawford. Adina is near and dear to my heart. I'm so happy she's joining us today. She has served as an ARC mentor and coach. She's a certified yoga teacher. She teaches gentle yoga, chair yoga, yin yoga, meditation, and mindfulness. She's also a certified aqua bootcamp instructor. She's a mentor. She's a motivator. She's an advocate. She's a community influencer. Her calling to teach yoga was about diversity and community and understanding that every person is unique and at a different level of their growth. Diversity for Adina is the community together. She's also, this is an impressive list, so it's a mouthful. Here we go. She's an ambassador for Trek Bicycles, Black Girls Run, Terry Bikes, Honey Stinger, and None. She's an MC for the Girls on the Run organization in Washington, D.C., and she's an REI co-op partner. She also serves on the board of directors for Black Girls Run. She is an avid fitness enthusiast, and she loves creating space for communities, for sure. I'm blessed to have her speaking tonight. And she is also a marathoner. She completed her first marathon in Chicago. She completed the Boston Virtual Marathon in October 2021. She has completed numerous half marathons, triathlons, cycling events. And in October 2022, Adina even received a proclamation from the mayor of Springfield, Massachusetts, and there is an official Adina Crawford Day. I mean, seriously, Adina, it's amazing. So welcome. We would love to hear a few words on health equity from you.
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I am so glad to be here to share this space with all of you. But we all know that health equity is really the unequal access is first world problems. It really is, right? Demographics play a huge role. Where we live, whether you're rural or whether you're in the city, there are so many people, and that I know personally in the community, that just don't have the access to health care, don't have the access to do all the things, run, cycle, all of those things. So there are 7 health disparities that I want to just bring to the forefront part of this conversation, and I won't take up too long. We know that it's gender, it's language, it's the status, your status, whether you're an immigrant or you're a US citizen, and geographics, right? So where you live is a bigger issue. So my concern is that we as advocates have to continue to amplify our voice and address the health disparities and be the voice for those that can't be the voice. Commitment to the underserved communities, and we have to do better to build a better community access and connections for those that don't have it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Adina.
Thank you.
All right, moving onwards to Tanya Bradley. Tanya is an ARC board member. She's an RRCA certified run coach. She is a lupus warrior, and she is in pursuit of health equity and racial justice. After being diagnosed with lupus, Tanya really had a moment with her own health, and running and movement helped her improve her physical and mental health. She is an advocate of self-care and that we all take time to seek happiness in our own lives. And she invites us all to prioritize our own happiness by refusing to give anyone room to disrespect our joy. Right, Tanya? Yes. So take it away.
Okay, so I'm probably going to repeat a lot of what Adina said, but as she mentioned, and as many of us know, health equity disparities refer to the unequal distribution of healthcare resources, access to treatment, and health outcomes experienced by individuals. And that's no difference in us patients with lupus, particularly those of us from marginalized and disadvantaged communities. But health disparities have more severe impacts on people with chronic illnesses. And some of those, as Adina mentioned, are racial and ethnic disparities. Lupus disproportionately affects racial and ethnic minority populations, particularly Black Americans, Hispanics, and Asians. Socioeconomic disparities, geographic disparities, as Adina mentioned, those in rural and remote areas have limited access to healthcare and healthcare resources. Gender disparities. In lupus, it primarily affects women at a rate of 90%. So imagine if it highly impacts women in minority populations, it's just a double whammy for women. There are health literacy disparities, disparities in research and clinical trials. All of these things matter, and it just really comes down to addressing these disparities require a comprehensive approach that includes improving access to care, increasing the cultural competency among healthcare providers. The doctors are limited in their knowledge in this area. Promoting health education and literacy, and expanding healthcare coverage, and conducting more inclusive research, clinical trials. And I have my own experience with that right now. We can talk about that at a later time. But that's it. That's my spiel on health equity and disparities for lupus.
Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate it very much. Next up, we have Cindy Rakowitz. She is the founder of Fit for the Cause and a dear friend of mine. She's the chief kinesiologist and executive director as well. Fit for the Cause serves the San Fernando Valley, Ventura County, and the Conejo Valley. Cindy also has extensive chief marketing officer background, and she has earned certification from Harvard's Law Crisis Management and Dispute Mitigation Program. She is author and has published Emergency Public Relations, which has been sold globally to business schools. She has multiple health certifications that include therapeutic exercise, brain health management, group fitness instruction, and she's a licensed Zumba instructor. And I think she's going to share a video with us as well and just give a little more flavor to what Fit for the Cause does to improve access to movement programming. So take it away, Cindy.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet everybody. And I also want to say there's unique faces that you see here that are part of the Fit for the Cause board. The current chair is Brian Sullivan. We have our current secretary, Juan Ross. We've got neurologist Dr. Lauren LaBelle, and Tai Chi expert Anita Pressman. And next to me is a gym owner and a very, very good friend, Gary Gentile. I've asked, I think Juan is going to share a video right now, and I think that's a really good way to introduce the way that we address disparity through group fitness programs. It's only a second, so take it away, Juan.
No, actually, there's a participant screen sharing is disabled, so I just need that.
Okay, hang on. Did you want me to share the video that you sent over?
That would be great if you could do that. That would be wonderful.
Hang on, I just reset it. See if that worked.
We love technology, don't we?
Did that work?
There we go.
That's me. Like it. Hey! Yeah! Woo! Oh, that's the way. I like it. Everybody sing. That's the way. I like it. That's the way. I like it. That's the way. I like it. Oh, look at you! Oh yeah. Come on, Dylan! Woo! Ready? That's the way, I like it, that's the way, I like it, that's the way, I like it, that's the way, Now what? Bounce. And down.
Okay. So everybody, you had a quick look at about 40 of the individuals that we serve, and there have been up to 2,000. The health disparity that Fit for the Cause discovered through ascertaining our local community is that seniors and young adults with special needs don't have the same accessibility to group fitness programs that traditional communities have. A gym can say that they're all access, but if any of you went into a traditional gym and watched somebody in a wheelchair, or watched somebody with Down syndrome, or watched somebody on the spectrum, you could see that they're being pushed out of their spots and put into a very dangerous and a situation with a lack of support. These groups come together and they feel a sense of community. They don't feel isolated. When we ascertain the community further, we've found that their mental health issues have improved incrementally after being engaged in our group fitness programs. And the physiological effects are, great as well, particularly those that have limited movement. We get such pride when we see them grow. Fit for the Cause has institutional contracts with local schools, with hospitals, assisted living facilities, gyms, and independent living facilities. So people wanted our services. We started off giving these services away at no charge with our licensed instructors. But these institutions wanted to guarantee that we can continue these programs so much that they offered to have contractual relationships where they're reimbursing us, for our paid instructors. So we've come a long way in our 11 years, and we are so excited to work with all of you at ARC to bring the group fitness formula to what you're doing with your individual cohorts.
Awesome, Cindy. Thank you so much. And just as an aside, my daughter has volunteered in that special needs class, and it's very impactful. So thank you for all that you do. And I love that you're meeting the needs of these communities that would not otherwise have access to movement programming. Next up, we have Lisa Kovacevic. She is a family nurse practitioner and on the ARC board of directors. She has over 20 years of experience in primary care and occupational medicine. She values helping her patients lead healthy and functional lives. And I will have you take it away, Lisa.
Hi, I hope everyone can hear me okay. Thanks, Gina, for having us all here together, and thank you for everyone. I mean, I'm just so impressed with this panel and board and what everyone's doing. So I guess in primary care, for me, I feel like that I see patients kind of at the end of, or not the end, but like once they have had injuries and once they're coming in with needs that need to be addressed. And I particularly deal with a lot of musculoskeletal injuries. So I feel like the disparity and like these movement programs are so helpful in preventing injuries. And so I appreciate, especially for my low income families or the the individuals who don't otherwise have access to movement programs, these would be really valuable in helping with injury prevention. So I think that for me in primary care, having access to movement programs would be really, it can be really impactful in terms of injury prevention, which is a lot of what I see and what I deal with. And by the time they see me, it's kind of like hard to get them back into moving again because you are already dealing with injuries. So so thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Okay, up next, we have Justina. She is also on the ARC board of directors. She is the founder of the Fijian Girls Foundation. This foundation is aimed at empowering young women through access to sustainable menstrual supplies and education. She believes that ending period poverty will empower the future leaders of tomorrow. Justina is also an avid runner and is passionate about the physical and mental benefits of movement and running. Justina, take it away.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Thank you, Gina, so much. It's been amazing seeing what you're doing, and very grateful to be on board and to hear what you guys are all doing too. So like Gina said, I actually met her through some of the running that we do. We run Miles for Change to raise awareness towards menstrual inequity. For me specifically in Fiji, but it is not just a nationwide, but a global issue that we have. Young girls, about 20% of young girls in third world countries will drop out of school or have early teenage pregnancy because of dropping out of school, not having access to menstrual resources. So what we do is we run marathons or just races to raise awareness, and we use the donations to provide washable pad kits. We've partnered with Days for Girls as well, and we've donated 100 washable pad kits. I had the opportunity to go back to Fiji for the first time since I was 4 years old with my mom just last month. And we got to partner with one of the secondary schools that's about from 6th grade to 12th grade in Fiji. And we got to visit one of the schools that my cousins, my mom, my aunties, all of them went to this school, and it was amazing. There was about 1,080 girls at that school, and 600 of them stay at the school and sleep there because they can't afford to go back home, and their parents can't come pick them up. So we were able to talk with them and They'd like us to provide washable pads for the girls so that they can stay in class and go to school and be comfortable. And then they also have a program for the girls that want to play sports, soccer, track and field. And we'd like to donate period panties for those girls so that they can move, they can play, they can run without being restricted by their menstrual cycles. So that's some of the stuff that we're doing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Justina. I love your work, obviously. And it's because of Justina that we kind of connected with another board member, Hafsa, who is actually not able to be on tonight. But because of that connection, and as Justina just mentioned, our ability to raise money when we run our races, ARC has raised money and helped over 100 young girls in Sierra Leone, and given them sustainable menstrual supplies as well, and education, so that they can stay in school. So that's been an amazing way to work on that health disparity worldwide. So thanks for your contributions, Justina. Next up, we have Natalie Randall. Natalie is an ultra marathoner and performer based in New York City. She created a documentary called The Race Against Race, and that's aimed at normalizing Black runners. Natalie found running after she got sober, and she really says that running changed her life. She reminds each of us that if you put your heart into running and movement, it can transform your body, mind, and soul. And Natalie, I would love for you to speak for a moment now, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm at work, so if you see a kid or something running by, I apologize. But yes, I did. I directed and produced and starred in a documentary about a 50-mile ultra marathon that I ran. Every mile was dedicated to someone who lost their life to police brutality. And the biggest reason besides the police brutality and the awareness trying to bring with that is also bringing the awareness of not only Black runners, Black female runners, Black plus size female runners, and showing people that size doesn't matter, time does not matter. It took me 12 hours to finish, and that's okay. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. It's not about winning the race, it's just about finishing the race. So that is a huge thing that I'm an advocate for. And I also recently just directed a short film called Lucha Esencial that was about the health inequities in the healthcare system when it comes to insurance and going to a community center compared to if you have this good insurance, and how you can see a better doctor this way or a better doctor that way, and just the disparities when it comes to language barriers between Black, Indigenous, and people of color compared to a white person who goes to the doctor. And that's a huge stepping stone and platform that we're trying to speak on. But one of my main focuses is plus size Black female runners, and letting them know that you can start just by walking, and we deserve to be healthy too. And just because you may weigh over 200 pounds doesn't mean you aren't healthy, because someone who is 120 pounds might have high cholesterol, and someone who's 250 pounds, that could be the healthiest they are just because they've been walking or running. So that's the huge thing that I do. And thank you for letting me share.
Thank you so much. All right. I appreciate everyone speaking so much. I love this. And I encourage everyone to go out and if you heard something that you were interested in tonight, to find that person on Instagram or do some more research, or watch The Race Against Race that Natalie produced. I love that we all bring our individual contributions to addressing health inequities. I love this team, and we're going to open it for a little bit of a social and conversation between the Fit for the Cause board and the ARC board. But I do, as you all know, also, I like just quotes in general. So we're just going to wrap up this part on health equity and improving health equity with a quick quote, because I think this panel has really shown that I can do things you cannot, you can do things I cannot, but together, all of us, together we can do great things. So thank you for coming together in this way. And I'm so excited about what the future holds and how we can continue to bring access to movement programming and change lives. So thank you all for being here and for listening to our lovely panel. If anyone has would like to just sort of, we can go around and introduce ourselves. I know some of you guys have to jump off, but if you're able to stick on and you could chat for a moment, Cindy, what format do you want to use? Do you want to just have a social, or do you want to go around and have people say hello and introduce themselves?
Let's have everybody go around and introduce themselves, because the Fit for the Cause folks, doesn't know everybody from ARC, and ARC certainly doesn't know Fit for the Cause yet. So I think it would be great if everybody who hasn't spoken or did not have an introduction could say something, a little something about themselves, and maybe why, the why of how Fit for the Cause and ARC are going to work very well together. Does that sound good?
Let's do it. Who wants to start? Just unmute yourself and pop in. You guys all know me, so I don't need to do an introduction.
I'll start. So my name is Asha. I have a background in track and field and still compete in women's long jump, but something that's always just filled my heart with ARC is, the focus, of course, on women, and really, of course, lowering that barrier. Like, it's not about, running far, like Natalie was saying. It's not about running far, running certain times and distances or whatever it is, but really just having access and feeling accomplished in that, whatever those goals are. And so I think I'm just excited to hear even more how Fit for the Cause and ARC will collaborate into, I think, two really cool existing programs, both from that individual scope that ARC currently does, and then to the group scope that Fit for the Cause does. So I'm excited to see that happen, since I think there's a place for both. But I'm really excited to learn more about Fit for the Cause for sure.
Thanks, Asha. I think as we go around too, it'd be interesting for Fit for the Cause to hear where everyone's coming from. I know that we know, but Asha's coming from San Diego. So as you introduce yourself, it's kind of fun to say where you are in the US. Who's next? Brian?
Yeah, thanks, Gina. And I'm jumping in now. My internet connection is not stable. I've already gotten kicked off a couple of times, so I'll try to make this quick. I was humbled and honored when Cindy asked me 11 years ago to be on the board when we first founded this thing. And I've been with this thing for the whole ride. I could not be more excited about what the future holds as we embark in this. I don't know if we're going to call it a marriage or an adoption or what, but this new partnership as we go through, because I think there are some great synergies that can be realized on this. I'm also humbled to be in the presence of someone who's running ultra marathons. I was once asked, why is a marathon 26.2 miles? And my answer was because 26.3 would be just crazy. I've only done 4, and I've probably done about 12 halves and more 5Ks and 10Ks and mud runs than I can count. My running days, I think, unfortunately, are behind me with 2 artificial hips. I can't find a metal detector in the United States that I can make my way through anymore. So the running part's behind me, but I'm still taking part in pretty much everything else I can do. The video that you saw is just a really small snippet of the populations that we have served over the last 11 years. It is those who are developmentally needy, people who are financially needy. It's the elderly, it's the children, it's the people that just don't get access. So when we're talking about, health disparities, for 11 years, this organization has been dogged in its pursuit in the areas geographically where we can serve, but trying to find those people and serve them. And I couldn't be more proud of the people that I've served alongside on this. So thanks for this. And I know you guys are going to take it to the next level.
Brian, why don't you tell everybody what you do for a living aside from your philanthropic side?
I don't know if there's time. There's
no, just
time beyond.
Just what you do.
I raise a lot of money for Fit for the Cause, and that's pretty much my full-time job.
He's a health insurance professional, okay? So he knows statistically how we have inequity, okay? I just want everybody to know that.
Well, thank you. And if I get knocked out again, I'll apologize in advance, but it's great to meet y'all. And once again, anything that we can do to further cause, for the Fit for the Cause, we're there at the asking.
Thank you, Brian. Who would like to go next?
I could go. I'm Nicole. I'm in New York. I am a pediatric speech language pathologist now for over 20 years, working with children who have multiple disabilities. So the video is really touching. My wheelhouse for sure. Currently, I'm a researcher at NYU and a professor, all within the, it's a treatment efficacy research study. I will run my 8th marathon this November in New York City, and I am a breast cancer survivor. How I got linked up with Gina is after going through cancer treatment, I like having my schedule full, but I wanted it to be with things that really I picked to bring me joy. So being a part of this organization and giving the gift of running to all of the populations that, you know, we've worked with over the past 2.5 years has really been, it's been a gift to me as well. And it's really, really nice to meet you guys.
Nicole, there's always going to be one moment when I tear up, and that was it.
No,
Thank you.
I kept it light. Come on.
But just so everyone knows too, we have had a number of cohorts too that are cancer survivors and fighters, and we've served them with our programming, and it's been super impactful and amazing. So thanks for sharing your story, Nicole. I appreciate it. Who's next?
Anita, why don't you go?
Hi, I'm Anita. I'm originally from New York City, but I live in Los Angeles now. The past 22 years, I've been an in-home fitness trainer. During the pandemic, when I could not see my clients, I got a job in residential treatment where we treat addiction and mental illness. And it was there that I saw more for a need of expanding my business out into meditation, yoga, Qigong, Tai Chi. So I've actually transitioned 80% of my clientele into more of the healing arts and taking care of the city of LA and coming out of this low level, medium level pandemic, whatever you want to call it. We all need some TLC right about now. And I have a big heart. I teach a senior class every Friday for Fit for the Cause, where we dance, we have karaoke, we have parties, we celebrate everybody and everything. And I'm really happy to be here and meet you all. And I think we all have that same heart.
Thanks, Anita. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lauren, why don't you go? We have to pick on you like we're romper room instructors.
I see. Hi there, everybody. My name is Lauren LaBelle. I have been a practicing neurologist for about 40 years. I do a lot of integrative medicine too, and acupuncture. I've been part of Fit for the Cause since its inception, I guess, 11 years. I probably don't have anything to add that Brian didn't say, but I think it's been a worthwhile organization, continues to be a worthwhile organization, and I hope with you folks, we continue to grow and expand. So it's nice to meet all of you.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, I don't want to get picked on, so I'll go next. I'm Juan Ross. I was born originally in Miami and now live here in Ventura County, just west of LA. And I'm a first generation Cuban American, and my why, to Cindy's question, is really my grandfather, who my entire youth and adulthood was my role model for health and fitness. Followed a plant-based diet, which I can imagine in Cuba was a very strange thing since he was a kid, and very much into health and fitness, played tennis into his 80s. And so when Cindy and her late husband asked me if I wanted to join the board, I knew I had to say yes, because fitness is in my family, and it's part of who I am too. So I'm very happy to be here. I've done a few Spartan races. I ran my first half this year. I've done a bunch of 5Ks, but just generally, I'm really excited about the future for this this partnership, and very impressive, all the presentations and everyone from earlier before. So everyone's doing a great job in this area, and I think this is just a really good merging. So looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see who else we have on. I think we have some that jumped off. Jocelyn, are you available to speak, or are you at work? I know you have your mic off and your camera off. Jocelyn lives in Florida. She's a physical therapist assistant, and she's on the board. I'm trying to see if anybody, would anyone else like to jump in who did speak, but maybe has anything else to say from the ARC team?
Well, my name's Gary Gentile, and I can see we've saved the
best for last.
The oldest for the last. I'm a 77-year-old gym owner, Vietnam veteran. I met Cindy about 5 years ago when our seniors program started at the gym. I opened up the gym to all of our seniors, our special needs people, and Cindy and I have been very close for those 5 or 6 years. I couldn't be any more eloquent than my compatriots on the board have been, but it's a great organization. It's a lot of fun. It does a lot of good things. And I'm looking forward to doing anything I can do to help the transition and help ARC progress and move forward into the future.
Love it. Anybody else who wanted to hop in and say anything more in terms of introductions? Anything else you want to share, Cindy?
What I wanted to share with everybody that doesn't know, since we're talking geographics, is that I am originally from New York City. So I'm a Queens girl. And I've lived in Los Angeles for the last 25 years. And part of the reason why there's a need for, this marriage is because as the founder and executive director of Fit for the Cause, I'm going to have a geographic disadvantage because I'm moving to North Carolina probably, in the fall. And so the good news is that we'll have a beaming presence in the Triangle in the North Carolina area where, I certainly hope to, bring some of the local group fitness programs to the underserved communities once I figure out, my life when I get settled there. But we're going to continue to do a lot of the Zoom classes that I do weekly on Mondays at 11 a.m. from this room where we're sitting. We work with Tri-Counties Regional Center, which is a government arm, that supports our special needs individuals. And they host a national, kind of a global Zumba class online. And it was just from the mailings that came from Tri-Counties Regional Center, somehow, some way, we have individuals from Canada that are joining us and Mexico that are joining us. And that's really a nice global element to what we do in the special Zoom classes that I will continue when I go to the Durham area. So there's multi-geo, action here, and I'm really, really excited about, expanding beyond our intense local areas that we serve here.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy. Does anyone else have any contributions they would like to share? Any comments? Anything as we wrap up?
I will say that the distinct pleasure, I think, Gina, you and I kind of kicked it off with Black Girls Run, right?
We did. We did. Now that makes me cheer up too, Adina. Okay.
So, that was very pivotal in the community of space, of women of color. And you got women from all over to be a part of the program. It was just amazing. It was amazing being one of the coaches to help out, amazing to be one of the speakers, amazing to lead the meditation. But overall, women still remember where they started, and it was with ARC. And it was like, Black Girls Run is like all over, right? But there were so many women that participated. It was phenomenal. And you and I connected just through Instagram, where it all started.
That's true. Yes, and Adina, when I first met Adina, and we met virtually. You remember? You know what I'm going to say? What quote I'm going to cite right now?
Go ahead.
Okay, iron sharpens iron, and it does. Iron sharpens iron, and all of us can serve as the ironing, sharpening each other. And I appreciate everyone's contributions greatly. We all bring different gifts to the table, so thanks for that, Adina. Thank you.
Yeah. And just remember, the day that you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit.
That's right. Another good one. I love it. Anyone else? All right. We'll respect everyone's time. I thank you so much for coming together tonight. I thank you for your alignment and improving access to movement programming, to addressing health inequities, and for all the individual things you're each doing to make a change in this world. You know, it's near and dear to my heart. So I appreciate you all very much. Have a lovely evening. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
It's a joy.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.